Welcome, boys. Okay, in this video, we're going to do a showdown. Harbor Freight Diablo brand air hose. We have the PVC plastical hose on the right, and then our rubber hose on the left. 3/8 inch diameter. It's inside diameter. May be able to tell that the rubber hose is slightly thicker outside diameter than the PVC. Now, each of them are rated for 300 psi. It says do not use above 300 psi. And as you can see by the box art, the thumbnail, which I'll also include here. So you'll notice some similarities and differences between these two. So on the left with the rubber air hose, you're going to notice that it says flexible in cold weather. And that is going to be very important because the rubber is very flexible in cold weather. The PVC, on the other hand, is not. It may say it's good at temperatures down to like -5 degrees, but I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to struggle to unroll and roll that thing back up in any temperature anywhere near freezing. So there's a reason why the rubber says flexible in winter or cold, and why the PVC does not say that. And that's because this stuff is not flexible in the cold/winter. So I've already done a video on the Essential Pneumatic 3-gallon oilless air compressor, pancake style. And when I used that yesterday, I had already bought the PVC pipe, or correction, the PVC hose only. The reason for that is because it appeared to be the better deal. It was, you get 25 more feet, so 50 feet total for a couple extra bucks. Whereas if you wanted the rubber hose, it was 25 feet for, a couple bucks less. So I said to myself, well, I could get 25 feet of rubber hose or 50 feet of plastical hose. Obviously, that's the better deal. And to the casual observer, at first glance, it would be the better deal. However, I'm going to tell you something right now from experience. That 50 feet, you're not going to get the whole 50 feet out of it if it is below room temperature outside. Because this hose will not lay flat. It won't lay flat, will not unwind flat. Now, it's doing it right now because we're inside the house at room temperature. But after when I took it outside and started using it, a lot of these coils didn't uncoil. And when it came time to wrap it back up, that wasn't happening. I couldn't. It was just like a big pile of mangled mess. So I had to pick it up in a big pile, take it inside, set it down next to a heat vent, and then when heated up to room temperature again, I was able to wrap it up like this. So there's that. Whereas the rubber hose, right now, it will lay flat. You'll get the whole 50 feet out of it. And if I take it outside, which I would normally demonstrate, I had every intention of doing that in this video, but this is Missouri. And if you don't believe me how the weather is here, it is snowing, raining, and sleeting all at the same time. True story. It's like 30-something degrees out, rain, sleet, and snow. So I can't do the awesome comparison I planned on doing, which was going to be me laying this down in the yard, all 50 feet of it straight. Me laying that down in the yard, you're only going to get like 5 feet out of it, and then trying to wind this back up, coil it back up easily, and me trying to coil that back up impossibly. So, my opinion is you can get away with that PVC hose if you don't care that you're not going to get your full length. So if you don't need the full length, fine. If you're going to use it when it's mostly summertime or room temperature, fine. You're not going to have any issues with it, because I used it and it worked perfectly fine. It is smooth, so that is kind of nice that the outside is like a smooth slick surface, so you don't have to worry about getting stuck or hung or creating a bunch of friction on anything. Whereas this is thicker, it is also much heavier, and it's got a little bit more friction, so this I wouldn't feel comfortable dragging it across like my driveway, which is asphalt. That I think would do a better job of that, so I wouldn't worry about damaging it. It would slide over it much more easily. So I have them both. That I do plan on using. I'm not just going to throw it in the trash. Warm days, hot days in the summer, boom, definitely going to use it. I'm dragging anything across my driveway to air up tires or whatever, boom, I'm using it. If it's a colder day or it's going to be in the yard or something, boom, that's fine. Or if you're in a garage and you have like smooth concrete to drag across, boom, also fine. So that's my take on these two hoses. This one, you're not going to be able to wind it up. It's going to be a bitch if it's cold. But for every other application, works perfectly fine. Recommend it. So that I really think you should be your only determining factor, because the one disadvantage that this PVC has is the temperature. It is cold is the enemy of it, but that's it. It's the only enemy it has. It's lighter, it's smoother, and it coils and uncoils just fine when it's warm. And then this one has, in my opinion, would be more disadvantages unless it's cold out. Because when it's cold, it retains all of its flexibility and can be used just as easily as the PVC. But again, it is heavier. It does have a little more friction to it, but it's flexible when it's cold. And it does come with the little male end coming out of each side of these. So of course I did buy the Harbor Freight kit for a quick disconnect on this side for our tools to go in and out of, and then this side for its quick entry into the compressor. And same with that side, same with that hose. You want to put one on one end so you can attach your tool, quick disconnect in and off, and then you also want to put on the other end your female connector here with the quick disconnect end. That way it'll go in and out of your compressor easily. So, and if you don't want or can afford the 50-footer, even if it comes down to, do you want 25 feet of rubber or 50 feet of PVC, I'd say you're better off with the 25 feet of rubber, honestly, because you're going to get the full 25 feet. Whereas this, you're not going to get the full 50 feet out of it if the weather sucks. It's cold out. So if it came down to those two, 50 feet or 25 feet, I would get the 25 feet. But in their current configuration, like these are, where they're both 50 feet, you can compare the two. At this point, they're apples to apples because they're both 50 feet long. You can feel that this one is much heavier, but it is more flexible. Whereas this one, when it's warm, is fairly flexible. You'll get the whole 50 feet, but if it's cold, you're not going to get it. So I'd say you'd be better off 25 foot versus 50, but if they're both 50, you can get away with the PVC. So that's my opinion. That's something that you should be considering. Don't just see that the PVC is cheaper and say, cheaper, buying it, great. Take into consideration that it may be cold out. So if you're going 25 foot versus 25 foot, get the 25 foot rubber. If you're going 25 foot rubber versus 50 foot PVC, get the 25 foot rubber. But if you're going to go 50 foot rubber versus 50 foot PVC, get the 50 foot PVC. Because unless you need the whole 50 foot, you can probably get 25 foot of your PVC in the cold. Maybe. Possibly. But you are going to struggle to wrap it back up. You will have to bring it back in a pile, let it warm up, and then you can wrap it up. Coil it up, rather. So, all right, that's my showdown comparison here. said I did plan on going outside and showing you, but of course, it is raining. It isn't just cold. So, alright, that's all I got for you on this video. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully you can make an informed decision on which one you need or want, which you'd be better off having. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.